One reason I wanted to talk to you all about this is John and I have started getting notices like this. This was in November. We got this notice from Macworld, which was one of our favorite magazines, and it says, "This is the last print issue.
Wow.
From now on, you have to, get it on your device." And I thought, okay, this is the wave of the future. It costs them a lot of money to print magazines and to mail them out. It costs them a lot of money. And just think, even a letter these days is 50 cents, right? For one stamp, isn't it? 49 or 50. Anyway, so I think, it's really time to learn about these things or to hone our knowledge if you already have some. So let's see, Macworld, so you see, I'm not a PC user. I know a little bit about PCs. I'm a Mac user, and so I don't like to have, 29 pages of apps. I like to stick everything into little groups and have it on one page. So I want you to look at the one called News up there. There it is. And in the news, I've got something called the newsstand. Well, you can see here, I've got Sue Today, Smart News. By the way, Smart News is a very cool thing. That I'll show you in a minute. And you're going to learn about Zinio tonight. Sue Evening News, Sue Star, Detroit News, and so on. But this newsstand, I've got, okay, here's Macworld. I just today downloaded the April 2015 of Macworld. So see, that's the only way that John and I can read this magazine now is on this iPad, or on his iPad or my iPad. We can get these things. Different magazines do it different ways. This one, you can change pages or change, let's say, subjects or headings. But then if you want to read more about it, you go down this way. If you want to read, you see what the article is. If you don't want to read that article, you just go on to the next article. If you want to read that article, you start going down this way. So every magazine does it differently. The New Yorker does it this way too. And I'd like to show you the New Yorker. I just love getting the New Yorker on my iPad and my iPhone. So this is the latest issue. This is called View from the Balcony. See the little dachshund up there? And so when you're reading, okay, I'm going to go to the table of contents. Here's the table of contents. One of my favorite things about reading the New Yorker on my iPad is, okay, let's say I want to read this poem by Nick Laird. I can go there. I can not only read it. Oops. Oh, hang on a minute. I touched the wrong thing. I'm sorry. Okay. Okay, here's the table of contents. Okay, here's one, Jane Hirschfield. I can not only read the poem for myself, but I can actually
Husband. Some things can surprise you in both directions.
I can actually listen to the poet reading her own words. How cool is that? And as much as I love holding a magazine and turning the pages and all that glossiness and everything, to hear the author read her, or the poet read her own poem, I mean, that is just super cool. And I love that about it. I also love that you can decide, maybe you just want to read the cartoons and nothing else. If you, at first, you can just choose to read the cartoons at first, You can do whatever you want on there.
Marion?
Yeah.
Excuse me just a moment.
And the New Yorker is available through Zinio.
Zinio.
Which we'll get to, yeah. So
Yes.
you don't have to pay, it's a library resource.
Thank you. Yes, the New Yorker, and the reason it's available through Zinio, which we're going to talk about tonight, is that the Bayliss Library has the New Yorker, right, Susan?
And actually it says Macworld too. Have you found it on here?
We
Susan?
give that to you. That's our,
Oh,
that's
okay.
John's and my
Oh, I'm
gift to you.
sorry. Okay.
That's okay,
It's
I
also
forgot about
Zinio's.
that.
Yeah. I
But
think
John
it's new
said,
this year.
I remembered him saying, let's give Bayliss
Thank you,
a
yeah.
gift of this. Yeah, okay, so that's the New Yorker. And then Strings Magazine has just been bought by somebody else. I can no longer look at Strings on there, but I just wanted to show you that one just because they do it differently. They're not quite as technologically advanced as the other two, as Macworld and New Yorker. With Strings Magazine, I think it's opening, there it is. You have to go page by page, which is fine. But on the others, all you have to do is touch that and it goes directly to the article. With Strings, they don't have, whoever set that up isn't as technologically savvy, so you actually have to go to page 24 to read that particular article, that kind of thing, but it's okay.
Mary,
It's okay.
one of the things about Strings is they give you links to you so you can hear things going, and so if you're looking at a magazine that gives links,
Yeah.
can you touch them and get to the?
You can if you are in a place where you have Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I mean, if you're sitting in your car hurtling down the highway, you can't do that. It'll say, sorry, you don't have an internet connection. But as soon as you get to a spot, go to a McDonald's. They always have free Wi-Fi. Have a cup of their good coffee and listen to your links.
Excuse me, may I ask a question about just that?
Yeah.
How do you have it on your device without Wi-Fi while you're sitting in your car?
Because you download it when you are. When you are in a spot where you have Wi-Fi, that's when you download it into your device. And then it's there.
And then it's there.
Oh.
But the links aren't because they change all the
I
time.
understand. That's exciting.
Excuse me. Yeah, so those are my three magazines I wanted to show you. They just operate differently from each other, but whatever magazine you choose to download, and we'll talk about Zinio. Do you have the printout? Did you all get your printouts over here? Well, you don't need to do it right now because you're in the dark anyway, but Zinio is an app, I guess we'd call it, right, Susan? Zinio is an app that you download into your device, and it goes into your library and finds any magazine that they have that you want and puts it into your device. So you can read any of Bayliss's, just like you can walk in here and read any of their magazines, but you also can download them sitting at home or wherever you are that has Wi-Fi. You can download them and read them. And you don't have to have Wi-Fi once they're downloaded and they're in your computer thing. Call it a
Marianne,
computer thing.
would you help us understand that just a little further? Is it borrowing as if you're borrowing a book, and so therefore if you borrowed it, someone else cannot borrow it?
I don't think that's what it is it, Susan?
Well, it is, yeah, if there's only one copy in the system, it is yours for 14 days.
Okay.
And you can check out four items at a time. You can place holds on too. But yeah, if there's only one in the system, which usually is the way it is,
Okay.
then
So
you
let
have
me
to wait.
go into Zinio and see what I have here that
Oh,
I've
for
downloaded.
wait, for books you talking?
I was actually talking magazine.
Oh, magazines, I'm sorry. No,
Okay,
it's
well-
unlimited. And it's yours to keep, yeah.
Oh, you don't, so you
Yeah.
don't have to give it back, or it doesn't
No.
sort of suck back?
No, sorry,
Okay,
yeah.
because that's what I was going to
Thinking
say.
books,
I've had
yeah.
these more than 14 days.
Yes, no, I'm sorry, I was thinking
Okay.
books.
Yeah, but she's right about the book, the books. Oh, and I just got an email this afternoon from Overdrive. Overdrive is the app that you can get on your computer for free that will go into Bayliss or any of the, is it Superior Land Library Cooperative? Any of the libraries in the area, and look for a book that you're interested in. And if they have it in either ebook, which is you read it on your device, or as an audio book that you want to listen to on your device, then you can download it. And I've been on the waiting list. Did anybody see that movie, Still Alice?
Yes.
Okay, well, I've been wanting to read that. I hear that the book is even more wonderful than the movie, if that's possible, because the movie was absolutely wonderful. And I just got an email. Wait a minute here.
Hello, Mary in the cloud.
There we go. Great Lakes Digital Libraries, now available, Still Alice. So let's see. It's been automatically checked out to me. So sign into the digital library website to access it. So I will go in there and hope that it's there so I don't look like a fool here.
So you have a couple days to respond and.
Okay, so I'm going to choose Bayliss. See all the libraries? I'm going to choose Bayliss. And so where is it? I'll say go. Oh, my library card number. Now I get to show you something else. I always keep all of my big numbers and passwords on my device, and it's in a thing called Notes. See down here at the bottom, Notes? I'll hit Notes. Oops, wait a minute. I hit Notes and Basic Information. Okay, this is it. And what are we looking for? Overdrive, right? Or Bayliss. We're looking for Bayliss. These are all my, look at how many.
Are they alphabet?
Yeah, I put them in
How
by
did you do
alphabet.
that?
Otherwise, I'd never find them, because look at how many I have.
Bayliss.
There. So see how long that number is? If I tried to put that in every time by hand, I would make mistakes. I know myself. I would make mistakes. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to say select, and I'm going to say copy. So now it's copied into my device, and my password is the last, you know, your password here is the last four numbers of your phone number.
It's
So,
also your PIN number.
pardon?
It's also called, excuse me, also called your PIN number.
Right, or just PIN.
PIN, yes. Yes, that's right, yeah.
Because the end is number.
Yeah.
I'm
yes,
sorry.
PIN.
So, okay, so we'll go back to Overdrive. Hello? No books, I know.
Oh,
So, okay, would it be bookshelf? Let's go back to the darn email. I'm sorry, you guys.
Thank you for not being perfect, because I feel much better.
Thank you for saying that. Okay, so select library, Bayliss, and go. And this time I'm going to press on this and I'm going to say paste. And there's my number, see? Because I said copy. And then here's the last four numbers of here's my PIN, 4998. And I'm going to say remember my login information. Sign in. Yeah, right. Save this, save the password here. Okay, now this is what I was hoping, Susan, was that now I could find that book.
well, let's see.
Start reading.
Invalid.
Oh, there you go. Oh, no.
Well, that's the Goldfinch. I've read that. Oh, that's wonderful. Have you ever read the Goldfinch? Put it on your list. Really, really good.
Oh, so you're not, is it one of the icons on the top? Your account maybe, the person?
Once they open. I'll find it later, I know. Let me tell you
That's
though,
what we're gonna wanna do.
It still
This
doesn't think you're logged in for some reason. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Just
Sign in.
sign in.
I think she used the wrong pin.
I thought it was 598.
Well, no, there it is. I say sign in again.
I think it was 599.
Yeah, it said
Yes.
It
5998,
was
and you put
599.
in 4998?
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go back.
Okay.
Account.
I was thinking the same.
I thought I was getting rid of you.
I said 5998, but I,
There's your bookshelf, okay.
She said 599.
There's still a
Well-
house.
She said,
Yeah,
There's still Alice there.
there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna touch that. Now it says sample, but why does it say sample?
There's go to bookshelf, would that be?
Go to bookshelf. I'll do it later. I don't want to take your time up. But anyway, it's there now. And I wanted to show you that on my phone, I downloaded from Overdrive. Pardon? Does it say download? Where? Oh, download. Kindle book. We'll do that.
There you go.
Confirm and download. Yay!
And you have Bill Canto on this, right?
There it is. So, and it expires on the 21st of April, so I'm gonna have to stop. I'm reading Great Expectations by Charles Dickens right now, and I'm gonna have to stop doing that for... What?
Read like mad.
Oh, I love Charles Dickens. I read at least one Dickens every year. Okay, so why? Okay, there we go. Okay, so on this one, I went into Overdrive and I downloaded an audiobook. So I wanted you to experience both. And we're listening to, my husband and I are listening to Bel Canto. I'll say continue listening.
No one considered slipping out of the bathroom window when their hungry were becoming brave or mad. That he had loved more fully than they were capable of loving.
See, so we've been listening to this for hours in my car because we came from Milwaukee, around Chicago to Detroit, and then up home yesterday. So we listened to a lot of this book yesterday. So, see, and this connects to my car so that we listen to it on the radio console through Bluetooth. I'm not talking about plugging anything in.
My phone's on Bluetooth.
Isn't that cool?
I love it.
It's a
My favorite
wonderful,
part of the
wonderful
car.
thing.
You gotta buy a new car to get that?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
You have to get a car that has Bluetooth. There you go.
There you go.
She said she was talking about
Okay. So, we talked about magazines a little bit. The Zenio sheet is going to walk you through the steps that you need to do to get online with Zenio. And that is not something I will do with you tonight. It's easy to do, and you can do it on your own by following what it says on here. And the other sheet that Susan put out is called, it gives you a list of all the magazines. Here it is. All the magazines that Bayliss has are listed here. So it's a very cool thing, and I hope that you will do it.
Marion, when you
Yes.
say, again, although you were using your computer in your phone, so you really could use your Kindle as well? for that?
Yes, I think so. That's a good question. Does Kindle, yes, Kindle connects to the internet, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, you should be able to use your, oh, absolutely. In fact, there's a sheet over here that says for Kindle users. Here's one.
Oh, yeah, Kindle right here.
See, it says Kindle e-readers. So there you go. And if you don't have one yet, go over and get one later. And, or Susan will pass her out. And that'll tell you how to do this on your Kindle. Okay,
Marion,
yes.
when you use your Kindle to go to the library and download a book, I have no problem, thank you. I have no problem getting the books, but I can't get the audio. Is there something
Well,
different you do?
they're not both. There's either one you read or there's one you listen to. But
Right, I know.
Oh,
But I go to the symbol that has, you know, the
Yeah, the
audio.
little- yeah.
Yeah, but I don't seem to get that.
I don't know. When you, let's see.
Maybe this will say.
Okay. let me go back there to, was Overdrive, wasn't it? Okay, so, let's say,
Penguin Random House Audio presents.
if I say add a title,
That was the same.
can you think of a title that you'd like me to look up?
Well, look,
Okay.
it's still Alice and stuff, should be on.
I don't think there's a Still Alice in audio. I think it's only an e-reader. Oh, is it?
Every new book is on audio.
Oh, it is?
Well, let's just look on Amazon and find out.
It
We aren't gonna
probably
find
is.
it, we can look and see.
It probably is, but
Might not be able to-
let's explore that later. But can I talk about books for a minute now?
Yep.
Okay, there's a lot of, I mean, I'm the same as anybody else. I love holding a book, I love turning the pages. It's just a wonderful tactile experience. But let me show you what I have in my Kindle app.
I got one. I have one.
If I've got way more books than are on my device. In other words, there are books that are, I wanted to tell you about this. This is a cool thing. Okay, so I've been reading, I told you, Charles Dickens' Great Expectations. Well, sometimes I am maybe walking and reading, or maybe I have it on here too. So I read on here, and then I go back to my iPad when I'm sitting at the table, and it'll say, you are currently at this location. The most recent location read is this, from Marion's 7th iPhone. Do you want me to go to that? So it knows that I read more on here, and it goes there for me on here. I'll say yes, and it'll go to chapter 36, because that's where I read to on here. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I just think it's just so wonderful. Okay, so that's Great Expectations, but I'm going to go back to the library and show you, and on the cloud, these are all the books that I've been reading. So John and I just got back a month ago from a Panama Canal cruise. We were on a boat for 2 weeks, and I read 7 books while I was on that cruise, and all I had to do, oh, thank you, you're so thoughtful. All I had to do was have this device. I didn't have to have all these books. You know what I mean? They're heavy.
Yeah.
And I just loved it. So on this cruise, I read Charlie Chaplin's autobiography. I read some Dickens. I read, well, Tess of the D'Urbervilles and the Hunchback of Notre Dame I read on the last cruise. Oh, here's a book you've got to read if you haven't. The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out the Window and Disappeared. Oh my gosh, it is a great read.
I saw the movie.
I want to see that movie.
It was good.
I've got it on my waiting list on Netflix. So, and The Art of a Jewish Woman, I read that on this cruise. My Notorious Life. Barbara Streisand's biography, I read that on the last one. And No Birds Sang, I read that on this one. Anyway, these are the books that I have to read. Oh, The Age of Innocence I read on this cruise, Edith Wharton. So, you know, it's just wonderful, and you only have this one. I just wanted to point out that I have the complete works, wait a minute, I have the complete works of Charles Dickens, and I have the complete works of William Shakespeare, and, no, I'm not going to upgrade right now, wait a minute. Cancel. But I've got the complete works of William Shakespeare, the complete works of Charles Dickens, and it doesn't weigh any more. You know, it's a great thing. It is. I love books, but I'm just afraid, you know, and one of these days, And all the Canterbury Tales in Middle English. So, okay. Then I wanted to talk to you also, and you'll have time for questions, but I wanted to talk to you about newspapers. Newspapers are wonderful things. But the newspaper that you get on your front porch is what happened up until the time that paper went to print. The newspaper that you get on your iPad or your whatever, Kindle or whatever it is, that is up to date right now. So, okay, so here's, for instance, here's the New York Times. Let's say there was just the rumor of a riot brewing in downtown New York when the paper went to press. By the time you look at this later in the day, maybe that riot is in full swing and you can see about it, you can read about it, and if there's something happening right now that's of interest, you can watch a video of it on your New York Times app or any of your, probably just about, like I think the evening news app will show you, let's say, a video of the Thanksgiving Day parade or whatever parade they have, or it's a nice thing. It takes you beyond the written word.
Marion, do you get the evening news app just in the App Store?
My husband has it. I don't have it.
Okay.
And I think he arranged for it with the evening news somehow.
Okay.
I want to get it because
get
we're
emails.
subscribed to it. You know, we
Oh.
get the hard copy every day.
Oh,
So
okay.
we also are entitled to have the digital copy of it. Anything that you already subscribe to, you can have the digital copy for. But I discovered recently something called Smart News, and oh, am I ever excited about Smart News. Gotta show you Smart News. So Smart News is free. Put my fingerprint there. Okay, so news, Smart News. Okay, this is Smart News, and I can see up here, I can get the Chicago Tribune, I can get the LA Times, the Atlantic, I can get things about science, things about technology, world events, lifestyle, entertainment, top stories of the day. I can get all of that, and when I touch it, then I get the whole thing. And it's free.
At the App Store?
Yes.
Okay.
Smart News it's called. So it's just really, I think, a great thing. What else did I want to tell you about? I don't want to leave here and then say, oh, I forgot to tell. Okay. I don't know if any of you are also free tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock for more of this, but Ruth Nephew is going to be at that presentation that I do, which is going to be essentially the same thing, but she's going to be there and can actually physically help you, each one of you, get onto Zinio if you're having any trouble with it yourself.
That's at the Elders at Lake State.
It's the Elders, yeah.
And where is that in the
It's at Sisler, at 2 o'clock, and it's right at one of those rooms near the front desk. Okay. Oh, when I'm reading a book on my Kindle app, and I come to a word that I don't know, oh, wait, let me do that for you because it's absolutely wonderful. Let's see, books, Kindle.
Oh, Marion, I don't think we're connected anymore.
Oh, we're not. Thank you. This is connected.
Oh, that's connected. Okay.
Oh dear, I'm sorry. Here I'm blathering on. Hello?
Oh, there you are.
Did I disconnect
You're
something?
connected.
Am I all set? Okay. So let me go back to my Charles Dickens just because, okay, here it is. This even has the original illustrations from the Dickens books. It's just a treasure. Okay, let's look for a word. Let's say I didn't know what exemplary means. I'll touch it and leave it. And up comes the dictionary. It tells me how to say it, what it means, use it in a sentence, you know. I mean, that's very cool, right? It's very cool. When you're reading along, there will be a word once in a while, maybe, unless you're such a genius that you know every word, but I'm not. I can find out what that word means and how to say it so I don't embarrass myself when I use it in a sentence sometime. So I love that about it. What else did I want to tell you? Oh, print size. So I can say, where, okay, see this A up here at the top? So if I touch that, oh, I have it, I can make it bigger, you know, let's say I have a real reading problem. I can make it bigger. I can make it smaller if I say, you know, that's way too big. I can have more words on a page and not have to turn the page as often. But turning the page, you know, is just touching the side of it and it turns. You know, I just go like that and it turns. So it's no big deal. Oh, I might be able to show you one of the illustrations. Yeah, isn't that wonderful? I love that.
Marianne, one of the problems that I sometimes have is for some way I'm touching it and it takes me to the next chapter as opposed to the next page.
What is your device?
When I'm using the actual Kindle thing itself.
It probably gives you, I've never used a Kindle, I just use the Kindle app on my iPhone.
Yeah.
But if you're using a real Kindle, they must have tips on there how to use it.
They do. It's kind of a long thing to read.
If you go,
Well,
if you touch up and down, it's going to go to the next chapter.
Oh, thank you. As opposed to side to side.
oh, thank you.
That's very convenient.
My husband likes to say, when in doubt, read the directions. But I don't know. I love that I can make a bookmark here and come back to it later. See that? I love that I can make a note. Let's say I'm reading the book for my book club. In fact, my book club meets a week from today, and we've just read And No Birds Sang by Farley Mowat about World War II. Anything I wanted to talk to them about within the book, I just touch, and it asks me if I want to make a note. And if I say yes, then I can make a note. And I don't know if you probably don't all have this, but I love this thing. I love this so much. This is a Bluetooth keyboard. And if I press number 3, it's married to my iPad. If I press number 2, it's married to my iPhone. So let's say, you know, I get a nice email from Doe, and I want to answer her in 1,000 words or less, and I don't want to go like this. Or the kids go like this, but I don't. But anyway, I don't want to do that. I want to type because I'm a typist. I can do that. So I just press number 2, and I answer you on my phone, and it's a great thing. So when we went on these cruises, all I took was my keyboard and my pad and my phone, and that way I didn't have to bring my computer. You know, that's one more thing to carry. And when we were going through the Panama Canal, this is for those of you who have phones and take pictures with them. By the way, the resolution on these is really nice. Very nice pictures. I was leaning over the edge of the boat, I wanted to see, you know, how close we were to the edge of the lock going through the Panama Canal, and I thought, if I drop this phone, I'll just die. When I got home, I found on Amazon this thing, and it's very secure. It's really, really secure. It's on there forever. And it's got this, so I feel like I could lean over now and not worry about dropping it. And it also has, this is a credit card size thing, so let's say you're going for a walk downtown and all you want is your phone and a credit card in case you want to buy something, you know? I mean, it's very cool. I love it. So, okay.
It's not good.
I'll tell you about that.
Good.
What was it called, Mary, when you found it?
I forget, but if you just write iPhone, what did I write? Phone strap, I think. And then everything concerning that will come up. And you'll see something like this. And it was, you know, it was less than $10, and you might say, well, it's probably worth 50 cents. Okay, but to me, it was worth it because I have that peace of mind now that if I go like this, it is not going to drop. And I can take pictures, you know. I don't do selfies, but.
Marianne, I would like to ask about sharing.
That's a problem.
It's a problem? Okay.
Yeah, isn't it? I mean, if I have a book that I absolutely love on my iPad, I have not figured out a way to give that book to another friend who has an iPad.
You can just share the app.
That's all you can do, and they have to get their own. Yeah.
What you're doing here, thank you.
Let's see. Oh, this is fun. Last night, John and I were lying in bed reading on our iPads, and all of a sudden we both looked at each other and said, "We don't need the lights on." Click, and then we can still read because well, it's backlit. You know, you don't need to. Okay. Let's see. I think I told you that you can archive things to save them so they don't take up space on your pad anymore. They go kind of into a cloud somewhere. Don't ask me to explain it because I can't, but it does.
I found out what it is.
What?
It's their, Apple has a great big warehouse in, I think, South Carolina, and it's just a zillion computers. That's the
Is that
power.
really true?
Yeah, yes.
Oh my God, I thought
Of
you were
course,
telling
it's
a
stored at
joke.
a real place. It's
Oh.
real, and it's a whole bunch of computers with a lot of memories.
Very cool. Oh, and then there's one other thing about books on the iPhone or iPad or whatever it is. It's called BookMine. Now,
M-I-N-E?
M-Y-N-E, see there in the middle left? BookMine.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to touch that and see what happens. This is already connected to Bayliss Library. And, wait. Okay, here we go. So it already knows that I'm Mac Woman. And if I touch that, it'll say what my info is and if I have any books. It doesn't tell me the ones that I have out on Overdrive. It only tells me the physical books that I have, right? Susan?
Eventually, it may.
It may
be an
eventually.
improvement, but yeah, right now, no.
But right now, and luckily I'm not embarrassing myself by having fines that you see. The only times really that I have fines is if I have John take books out in my name and then he forgets to return them. No.
But it's a good way to renew books from that.
Oh,
Did you mention? I'm not sure.
okay, so, okay. Back. My bookshelf. So if I had a book out,
Yeah,
I
guess
could
so.
renew it. I
Yeah.
see. Oh,
And it'll
that's
tell you
really
when
nice.
things are coming due soon. You can also sign up for messaging. So if you want to do a text message, have a text message come to you from the library system, it'll say you have something coming due soon, and then you could go to BookMine and take care of it, or call us or stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So is this BookMine an app then?
It is. It's a free app.
And I go at the App Store?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay,
Yeah,
is it spelled
yeah.
B-O-O-K-M-I-N-E?
M-Y-N-E.
Yeah, actually, there's
Oh.
some instructions on this one little sheet of paper here.
Yeah, you'll see it
Oh,
over there.
okay, all right, thank you,
Um,
I have
You see it there, the middle left?
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, book
And
is key.
what Susan sent me an email that said this: BookMine is defined as giving you your library on the go. You can connect to your library account, place holds, renew books, see what you have out, change your PIN number, etc. It doesn't replace Overdrive. Overdrive is just for downloading audio and ebooks. E stands for electronic, right? Yeah. So, and then if it's all right with you, I'd like to tell you about a few other apps that don't have anything to do with the library per se, but that I think are fabulous. Do you want to go over anything that we've talked about tonight first?
I would just like to ask one more question.
Yeah.
It seems like on the Kindle, you could, I thought I could take a document that I say have been working on at home. So I've collected a bunch of data and I've typed it all out. And it's in a document on my computer. I thought that I could put that document on my Kindle like in a book. Did you ever do that? Oh, that's right, but you have a Kindle app.
But you can put it on a smartphone, you can put Word on your smartphone.
Yeah.
And then you can have Word, it's in a Word document, I
That's
think.
right.
That's the only
I
way.
see what it is.
I don't think
You
it
can't
goes in-
really do it on your Kindle then?
I guess not.
Okay, all right. So if I just wondered if I had it, I suppose that I would just put it in my iPad. You know, I mean, I have Kindle on here, obviously. I'm wondering now why I bought this Kindle, because I didn't have this at the time. But now that I have it, I'm thinking, I wish that I could, I mean, my books, the documents that I create for myself, I really put a lot of work into, and I wish that they were portable in the same way that other
They are.
books are portable.
They are. They absolutely are.
So I guess my phone, when I look at, see, this is the dinky phone that I have.
Sure.
And reading on this little thing takes me, you know, I mean, it's a pain, sort of. And so I would really rather read on a larger format, and so that would have been, it would be something that would be very useful to me.
Well, Dole, I think, hit the nail on the head. You get the Microsoft Word app or some text app. There are others. and download that app into your device and import those documents.
Okay.
And they probably give you information how to do that.
All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Yes.
I have a question about removing books, borrowed books from the library. I went through Amazon and did the recommended stuff to try and remove them because I had a old book that I wanted to, but I couldn't, it wouldn't delete. It might,
I just
everybody
did one
else can do
yesterday.
that?
Oh, so you have a Kindle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, you do have to go to Amazon, I believe. It's something new that weren't able to do before.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if I've done it. But maybe you could
I'll
ask
try
Pam if
again.
that's where, yeah.
Yeah.
You might have to type in your password and all that.
Okay.
I'm not positive.
Well, it's just something that you should
Yeah.
be able to do.
Right.
Okay.
Like to return it early.
Return it because
Right.
I finished it and I
Yeah,
want to move
yeah.
on.
Oh, it'll eventually disappear, is that
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But meanwall, no one else could borrow it.
That's right. And if you've
Right.
read it, why keep it? Or if you
Right,
decide
and then I've got a whole book that I lost because I didn't have space for it.
Oh, right.
Hold, H-O-L-D, I wasn't sure what you were saying. You got a book on hold that?
Yeah,
You-
that came
You
out.
can't take that till you, oh.
Yes, okay. Yeah.
So,
That's a good question.
The collected works are not going to fit.
Aw.
14 days.
Well, if you have things you can remove, remove them.
yeah.
Get rid of stuff you'll never want again. Or archive them if you do think you want them again, but not for a while.
Okay.
Or those magazines too that build up, you know.
Because they take up space.
Yeah, and you don't need to hold on to them forever, but they'll let you.
One
Thank
more
you.
thing
Yeah.
about books that I forgot to tell you is I signed up for a couple of book notifications that come in every single day. And here's my email down here, and if I go over here, I've got, okay, here's one, Early Bird Books. So this is what came in Monday, and I saved it for you to see. This is just, sometimes there's absolutely nothing that I want to read. Sometimes there's one, at least one that I want to read. And then there's always, on Early Bird Books, there's often a free book that is old. And I downloaded this one because I love Edith Wharton. So, and it's free, so two reasons, yeah, so. So that's Early Bird Books, and the other one is called Book Bub and Elevating Overman. I just wanted you to see these. And you can get these for pretty cheap. And if you just touch Amazon or Apple, it'll take you to that site and you say you want it. And presumably you've got your either credit card or PayPal already registered with them, and they just take it out of there.
But to remind you that Overdrive, if you have a library card, you can get books free through Overdrive. But it's not everything in the system. It's a whole separate card catalog of 3,000 or 4,000 books. But they're mostly recent books. So if you find you can't set up an account with them, check your library card here at the library. Make sure you have it up to date and you know your PIN number, your PIN. I'm so used to saying it.
We say PIN numbers.
Yeah.
Do we have to set that up here or now, or is it automatic with our library card?
You do have to set up an account. So you do have to go in. If you
Even
go,
with the library card?
yeah. But once you've done it once, then you will have to submit that again, but it knows you have an account
So Susan,
with it.
I'm sorry, but could we have the light off again?
Sure.
Because I just want to tell you about a couple of really neat apps that you may not know about, or you may. But do you see that one called Marine Traffic? Left side, down in the middle? If I press that, it's going to show me, well, wherever I am, it'll show me. Here I am in Sault Ste. Marie, so it's going to show me what's here. Now here's a ship, see over here? This little one, and I'm going to touch that little green arrow, and it's the Edwin God. And let's have a look at it. It's going to show me what it looks like. It's going to tell me how fast it's going and where it's headed. The destination is Two Harbors, Minnesota. Current port is Sault Ste. Marie, previous port Mackinac Island, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I think it's totally cool because where John and I live, we actually see every ship that goes through the St. Mary's, but we're in Brimley, and those ships are so far away that unless we have a really good telescope, we can't read even what's on the ship, and even if we can, we wouldn't know all of this stuff about it. When we were in Barcelona, Spain in September, we opened up Marine app and there were 44 ships in the harbor, because that's huge, 44 ships, and we could touch each one and find out where it was from and so on. I mean, absolutely wonderful. If we go down the river, up the river, excuse me, a little bit, see where Brimley State Park is here? We live right to the left of that. And so this is our view out here, and so you can see there's a ship, it's called Under Pressure 2. That's funny. And it's Canadian. Oh, it's a fishing boat, and so on. Anyway, and there's the Lee Tregurtha, and that shows me what it looks like and everything, just like the other one. So I think it's very cool, and if you love living near the same...
there all day.
Oh, so if you
live up by Chippewa Landing?
Huh? Pardon?
You live up by Chippewa Landing?
Well, yeah, pretty close. We live halfway between the state park and the Whiskey River. So, then the other one I wanted to show you about...
Marion, excuse me, just a moment, Marion.
Is?
Marion?
Yeah?
I just wanted to say, I signed up for that today. She made it look so fun. It is $3.99 in the App Store.
$3.99.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're free. $3.99 is really a total wonderful
It looks like
amount,
a great
I
resource,
think.
yeah.
Really worth it. Here under travel, we've got the bridge cam. And this shows us, now living in Brimley, it takes us almost 20 minutes to get to the bridge, so it's not quite as current for us. By the time we get to the bridge, it might be different. But, let's say I've got to be somewhere at 7 o'clock. I've got a 7 o'clock rehearsal at Precious Blood Cathedral on Monday nights every week for the Chamber Singers of Algoma. And I've got to see, is there a long line at that bridge? Am I going to have to leave home by 6 in order to get there on time? And this shows you what entering the U.S. Why, right now, there's hardly any. There's none. And entering Canada, there's nothing. I mean, as far as a long line. And this tells you it was last updated at 7:46, and this is 7:53, so, you know.
Marion, what's the name of that app again?
It's called SueBridge.com.
SAULT.
Or let's see what that's the website it takes you to. Let's see what it calls it. It calls it Bridge Cam.
Oh, yeah.
But if you go to the App Store and write Sue Bridge, S-A-U-L-T, Bridge, it'll find this for you.
Okay.
So this is a very cool thing. Okay, what else did I
May I
want you
go
to
back
see?
to something else, Marion?
Pardon?
May I ask you something about something you talked about a minute ago?
Yes, please.
Thank you. On Early Bird Books and Book B&B,
B-U-B.
Bub, oh.
Bub.
Bub, nice name. I didn't find them, Early Bird Books in the App Store, and I just wanted to see if anybody knew. I'll look for Book Bub, sorry.
I can email these to you though, Dole.
Oh, there's Book Bub. I just want them, I think they're cool.
Anybody in here on Pinterest? You are? What are your interests on Pinterest?
I wish I could remember them all, but I really love the sayings part of it, and
The
I
what?
think sayings or quotes. I think
Oh
they're
yeah,
quotes.
right.
Yeah, they're very cool that way. And there's one. There's knitting and crochets.
Okay. Well, these are my ones. I've got Chaz and main dishes, travel, crocheting, hints, you know, appetizers and so on. And so, you know, I don't use my cookbooks anymore. I'm sorry, but I don't. Because every single recipe I want, I can find online and pin it. And then I've got it here. And sometimes there's even a movie saying, this is how you do it. And I'll stop it and I'll do that much, and then I'll start it again and watch, and then I'll stop it and do more. And it's absolutely fabulous. The only reason I have cookbooks anymore is that I have this adorable bookcase that was my mother's in my kitchen. So that's why I have them.
Or don't you have some old recipes there you still use?
Yeah, but I can find them online, see? And if I can find them online, here's some breakfasts. You know, I just...
I'm like your grandmother's special recipe.
Oh, well,
you
know, that's a good point, you know. Is that Richard who said that?
John.
I would like to figure out how to pin my grandmother's recipe. I don't have any. But if I did, I'd like to know how to do that, because I know exactly what you're saying. That would be a very great thing to be able to do. So anyway, that's Pinterest. You find things online that you say, oh, I love that, I want to keep that. You tell it to pin it, and it goes into your own Pinterest thing. Fandango. Anybody here like to go to the movies? No? Nobody goes? Okay. Well, we go all the time, and I go to Fandango and I click on my local films, and it does Carmike and it does Galaxy, and it tells me what's playing and what time and everything. So Fandango. Okay, I'll show you under film, TV, videos here.
Does it let you go to dates that are ahead?
Pardon?
Does it let you go to future dates, like to look for when the operas are?
Yeah, so Fandango, see on the left, I'm going to touch it. And I know Dole likes movies.
Oh, yeah.
I see her at films a lot. Okay, so, and then I'm going to touch theaters up here. And and it knows where you are. So when I'm in Milwaukee visiting my kids and grandkids, I say theaters, and it shows me all the theaters within 50 miles of my grandkids' homes. And I can say, oh, let's go see whatever, you know, and here's the time, and you can even order your, so here's Carmike, and these are the things that are playing today at the Carmike Theater. And if you want to see any of them, like John and I saw Cinderella the other day. You know, I touch Cinderella, and I can say, tell me about it. I can look at trailers about it, and I can see who the actors are and everything. It's a very cool thing, but if you don't like movies, then...
Do you pay for your tickets online through
You
Fandango?
can. I don't, because I have this little card for each theater that gives me points, and I want to be sure that I get those points, so I go actually to the box office to get mine. Oh, crap. I belong to a cello choir. There are 7 of us that play cello every Wednesday afternoon, and we bought a beautiful gift for our coach. Her name is Maggie, and that's to remind me when I get home to do that. Okay. Are there any others? Let's see. Oh, there's weather apps that are very useful if you're traveling, especially, or if you want to go out for a walk and you're not sure what's happening. Oh, I've got Fort Lauderdale on there because I was just there. Okay, so let's go back. San Diego, Panama. Okay, so I was just in Milwaukee. It's not much different from here. Prague, my favorite city, and Edinburgh, my other favorite city. And here's Brimley. So I can look and see, you know, what it's supposed to be like for the rest of the
Which
year.
app is that one?
It's called Weather Plus, I think. Let's look at it. Yeah, see down there, Weather Plus? And I'm just crazy about the moon, so I like to look and see when to expect the full moon. Then I know I'm going to be awake half the night, because that's what happens to me.
And that app is the Moon app?
Yeah, I think it's just called Moon. Okay. My Fitness Pal is a very wonderful app, and I haven't put my information in today because I had to leave for a funeral at 8:30 this morning. I just didn't get all my stuff put in. But you can put in your food diary what you had for each of your meals. You can put your exercise in, you know, what you've done, cardio and strength and so on, and it keeps track of.
They give you recipes too.
It does give you recipes, and they come in my email.
And how to, and exercises to do, and
Yeah, My Fitness Pal is just fabulous, I think. What was the one more thing I wanted to show you? Oh, just why I love the cloud so much. This is why I love the cloud. Let's say Doe said to me tonight, hey, I've got a new email address, or I've got a new cell phone and this is my new number. So I open up my contacts, and by the way, I've got in my phone, I have 1,784 contacts. But let's look for Doe. I'll go.
You have to know last names, that's how.
I'm going to go Doe, and there you are, Lou and Doe Brown, and I touch it, and I have 2 email addresses, one for you and one for him, right? I don't have anything else, but let's say that Doe gave me, she said, oh, I had to drop that darn Gmail account because it was giving me so much spam. I'm just tired of it. So here's my new email. So I would put it in here. By the time I get home, that same information is on my iPhone and on my computer, on my computer contacts. I don't have to enter it 3 different places. And do you remember the days before this kind of stuff? We had to have, maybe we had a calendar hanging in our kitchen where we maybe put a doctor appointment, but we also had a little thing in our purse so that when I got a doctor appointment, and if you forgot to transfer information from one to the other, you could be in trouble. You could miss appointments and that kind of thing. I'm going to just open up my calendar and show you. So this is my calendar. This is my week. Here's my month of April. And the red is today. So, what?
That's not retirement.
It is. You know why? Because you can be as busy as you want when you're retired, but you're doing stuff you want to do. You're not doing the stuff you don't. that you haven't generated or, you know, that you didn't want to do. I just love free time.
You probably don't have enough hours in the day to get everything in.
It's true, isn't it great?
Yeah.
So anyway, so let's say, you know, somebody calls me with a new thing that's happening and I put it on this calendar on my iPad, let's say. Right away, it's on my phone and it's on the calendar on my computer. And I never have to worry. And they give you little warnings, like an hour in advance. I have it set to tell me, you know, remember, you know, your lesson is in 1 hour. And then I'll set it to give me another one in about a half an hour, so that I'm not late for stuff, because I hate being late for stuff. And that's the other thing I wanted to show you was that cloud is just a fabulous thing. Bill Krieger, I don't know if any of you knew the Kriegers when they lived here. Bill Krieger called me, I think it was last year or the year before, and from Sedona, where he lives. And he said, "Do you guys have iPhones?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Tell me about it. Tell me why if you like it." And he says, "Write me an email and tell me about it." Well, I started. And I ended it by saying, I said, "This is what I do on my iPhone." Blah, 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 blah. On and on and on. And I finally said, "As a matter of fact, Bill, I really can't remember life before the iPhone." I can't remember, you know, because you know what it does? It does not complicate my life. It makes it easier. It just does. And I don't have anything else to say to you tonight. Be sure you get these handouts.
I bet for you, I'm thinking of your grandparents. They didn't have any of this.
No, but my grandpa was born in 1887, and I remember sitting with him. The reason he was so old for a grandchild born in 1942 is that he and his wife adopted my dad as a baby when they were in their 40s, because they had tried for years to have their own. So by the time I came along, they were the age of great-grandparents, right? I remember sitting with him in front of his Sylvania television, you know, with the halo around it, and he would say, "How did they do it? He saw the first car, the first airplane, the first so many things, you know. He was so darling, but yeah, that's right.
Marion, I would like to suggest an app for people. It's free if you like bird watching.
Yeah.
It's called Merlin, M-E-R-L-I-N.
Okay.
Merlin, and if you get it at the App Store, it's free. It's Cornell Ornithology.
I'm going to show you how to do that right now, because I'm on it. Okay, so I'm going to go to, I've got this one called Shopping down here, lower left. I'm going to touch that. There's the App Store. Touch that. And I'm going to look for the
symbol
search
thing.
I
would say that the download for that does take a little time, because it's just so full of every bird you ever dreamt of. All the bird songs on there, all the bird identification, where you are, and when you send the information to the labs, it's like citizen science. You know, it says, "I saw this bird in Sault Ste. Marie at such and such a time," you know, and so it's really a great app. It takes a little time to download.
Okay, is this it? Project Management?
Yeah, it says Merlin on it.
It says Merlin Project Management. I don't know if that's
No, not that.
Okay.
It's Cornell Ornithology Lab or something like that. But I should put it back on my.
Would you recognize how
it has a little bird on the top of it, as you might guess. It has. It says Merlin Bird ID. Merlin Bird ID.
There it is, and it said
By Cornell.
Said it wouldn't know results.
You needed the second one, not the first one.
Oh, thank you. No results. I'm going to look for it at home.
You know what, I have it on my phone, and I usually, whatever happens on my phone is also on my iPad, but I notice that it's not on my iPad, just on my phone. My sister said you should be able to take a picture of the bird with your phone, and then the Merlin Bird ID.
Yes. There's also, is this the one where you can walk through the woods and you hear a bird and you hold it up like that?
Yeah.
And it tells you what the bird is by listening to it. Oh my gosh! They have that same kind of app for music. Let's say you're in a restaurant or something, you hear them playing this music, you open up that app and hold it up, and it tells you what the song is, and if it's a well-recorded piece, it'll tell you who's singing it, who wrote it, whatever.
That's scary.
I know, right? I told Susan.
I can't.
I told Susan I was going to give you an encouragement. Here's an APP.
No, I don't know.
I'll help you in a minute.
That's a tablet?
No, that's it.
Let me tell you one more thing. This is an encouragement for you. I am a kind of a patient and persistent person. And if I have trouble finding something like that, I go for help. Now, I had trouble with Overdrive the other day. I was trying to download El Canto, and I wasn't figuring it out. So I wrote to this Nick. I found his name somewhere on there, you know, if you're having trouble. And he wrote, right away he wrote, "Hello, this is Nick. Responding to your Overdrive support ticket. I took a look at your account and reset the download link for the book in question. You should be able to reselect the download option. If you have the same outcome, let me know and we can continue finding what the issue might be." I'm just encouraging you not to give up because you're having trouble. Look for where it says somewhere on that page it's going to say contact us or help or something like that. Somewhere it's going to say that, and pursue that. And then you learn, you learn how to do it for the next time.
And there can be videos too to help you. Well, thank you very much, Marion. This
You're
was
welcome.
very nice.